Good morning, YouTube. Oh man, I just woke up and look like it too. So I happened to catch a little bit of Joe Biden's bragging speech this morning. And it was actually kind of, I don't know, man, comical. These people have a knack for speaking very cryptically, have a knack for twisting everything around to where it can sound good, which is pretty much what he said. So according to him, yet even New York Post is agreeing. Did that? I gotta say, I'm neither a Republican or Democrat, okay? But even the New York Post, who is a Democrat-run paper, is saying he's full of it. He's full of it. Unemployment numbers, he says, are 2%. 2 point something. I'm just going to round. Don't take me verbatim. I'm just going to round it to 2%. I think it was like 2.4 he was saying. I don't know. And he says that's a good thing. But when you take a look at it, has anybody walked into a Publix, a Walmart? Who are the greeters? Who are most of the cashiers? These people look like they should have been long retired. This is the new employment he's bragging about. People who can no longer live on their fixed income. The income that is needed has long exceeded their own payments, their own fixed income. They're going back to work. So he's bragging about that. He doesn't mention the elderly are coming back to work. He just says the unemployment numbers are improving, right? People who were able to enjoy their retirement are no longer able to rejoice in that. That's one thing that kind of made me laugh. Another thing, I've always told you, whatever a corporation or even a smaller business has to pay in regulations, taxes, salary, that all of it, down to the striping of their parking lot, down to the free coffee they hand out, gets passed to you, the customer. They don't pay for it. It just is all rolled into the product that they sell or the service, right? So Joe Biden's bragging. Now let me first ask you a question. You guys ever put in any overtime lately at work? And are you guys starting to say, well, I know I've been saying it. I know my coworkers have been saying it for quite some time. It's almost not even worth it by the time they tax you, because for some odd reason, they seem to tax overtime much higher than regular hours, right? Taxes, key word right there. Who gets the taxes? The government. 25-30% on regular standard hours. Upwards of 40-45% on overtime hours. By the time you put in your overtime, you take a look at your paycheck and you're like, what? So he's bragging that he's forcing companies that they have to pay extended overtime now. Again, two variables there. When you force a company to have to pay for something, it's actually a tax, though they have a good way of spinning it to make everything sound good. It's actually a tax on you because you go in there and you buy a product or a service and the price is yet again inflated. But who does it help the most? It doesn't help me from doing overtime. Doesn't help you. It helps the government. They collect more taxes. But you see how they spin it? This mandating overtime really doesn't help the employee. It really doesn't. Not in any significant way, okay? They might see $1 or more on their paycheck, but honestly, if you just let them work extended hours and not pay them time and a half, they're probably better off just making standard hourly wages because they're taxed less. I've always said this. Aside from merit-based pay increases, put that aside, that doesn't count. When you mandate a company pay more, even minimum wage, everybody's going to this $15 minimum wage. You know what it costs to go to McDonald's nowadays? I don't even go to these crappy places anymore. It really doesn't help the employee because they get paid, they go shopping, they're still only able to buy the same amount of groceries or the same amount of any product. They got just more digits in their bank account, but they don't have any more purchasing power. Those digits are just fake numbers. It's purchasing power. If they would say, hey, I'm going to give you more purchasing power, that would be different. But they say they're just going to give you a raise. When they mandate across the board, everybody gets a minimum wage increase, it doesn't help the employee. It only helps the people who are collecting the taxes. 35% of, let's just say, a minimum wage job that I remember was $8, $8. 30% of that. And the government said, I know how I can get more money and I can make myself look good. I can mandate that all the companies pay $15 an hour, and then we get the same percentage, 35% of that. And it gets passed down to you. So I'm listening to Joe Biden and his bragging and the twisting and the manipulation of his achievements, and it was quite comical. Anyway, I gotta go. What is going on this weekend? Not much. It's a Labor Day weekend, long weekend. I'm going to enjoy it.